and sister to me. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today on behalf of the Ivancic and split families. We've been irreparably shattered by the murders of our family members. As a family, we are united in our grief and really to begin healing in honor of those we lost. At the end of my statement, I will share photos from a video that was played at the memorial service for our loved ones. The picture collage, they'll show their lives as they grew up and as we remember them, filled with laughter and togetherness, love, and family. Our dad was more than just a dear father. He was a loving husband, an amazing brother, a proud grandfather, a loyal friend, and a knowledgeable mentor. Laura was a sweet soul who simply loved children, and our dad loved her deeply. She was a devoted mother, a loving wife, daughter, and sister. She was an attentive and caring aunt, and a very loyal friend. She was a collector of quality items like Longaberger baskets, handcrafted porcelain items like Yadros, and precious moments, and various paintings. She was always so happy and appreciative to receive any of these thoughtful gifts, mostly from family. My 17-year-old self didn't want to like her. I didn't want to love her when they first met and they got married. But her genuine love for my dad, her kind spirit, and her deep commitment to family made it easy. I did love her, and I loved them. A specific fond memory comes up in my mind. When Dad and Laura visited us in Illinois one year, we went to Arlington Park Racetrack. While us girls weren't really into betting strategies, we had our own way to determine the winners. We'd go see the horses prior to the race, and Laura would ask them how they were doing, and she'd ask them if they thought they would win the race. One particular horse answered with a foot stomp and a little snort. Laura was tickled by this, and she decided to make a big bet, $5 to win. We rushed to get our ticket, or her ticket, and we headed to the track. When the race started, our horse was dead last. But together we cheered him on. Around that last turn, our special pick pulled ahead. We held on to each other, jumping up and down, and willing that horse to come out victorious. And he sure did. Dad and my husband Doug laughed at our antics as we danced away to collect Laura's big winnings. I think it was something like $60. I miss those times. Dad and Laura built a warm and loving home, a place of laughter and of tradition. They did needlepoint together. They made hook rugs. Who here remembers hook rugs? They hosted family gatherings, they were collectors, and they made holidays feel magical. Dad even commissioned an artist to make modifications to Laura's cherished Hargrove painting, just because she thought it would look nice with some extra flowers. He loved making her happy. Their home was more than a house, it was a haven. It was a place welcomed and embraced by everyone. When I became a mom, I wanted a home like the one she created, a place where children felt safe and loved. They both would do anything, really anything, for anyone. I was blessed to have a rich and meaning relationship with my dad. One of the most meaningful days of my life was when my dad walked me down the aisle at our wedding. He was proud and happy. He was everything a father should be. But he isn't here now to see our children become adults, to watch them get married or hold his great-grandchildren. He had an engineer's mind, and he loved to tinker with projects, including a major remodel of the family home in Ohio, employing the free help of family as his labor crew. He led his assistants through numerous projects. It's funny to think about it now, but I do the same with my own kids, with our kids, finding family time through lots of DIY projects. I remember how his callous hands just painstakingly removed bricks, brick by brick, from the back of the house to reuse them on the front facade. That was just one example of the meticulous organization that defined his projects, his professional life, and the way they kept their home. Whether building or remodeling, repairing electrical issues, or meticulously curating his coin collection, he always took pride in a job well done. I have fond memories of Sundays with Dad, sifting through coins for the collection, hoping to find that rare Lincoln or the copper penny. I remember loading up coins into sleeves to preserve them. We didn't have a lot of money back then, so the annual CEI, sponsored trip to Jaga Lake, it was a local theme park, was a highlight. I recall traveling to Mesa to visit Grandma and Papa and to watch the Cubs at spring training and driving to see the Grand Canyon. Our dad was always up for a trip, as you heard from my brother. As kids, it was fun to just simply cheer him on as he umpired or played in countless baseball games or refereed basketball or volleyball matches. Anytime someone asked, "So who are you here cheering for?" I'd proudly say, "The ump," or I'd say, "The ref." Everyone seemed nicer to him, even if he missed a call here or there.
Strong lady. She is doing really well. She's addressing the jury as she's reading, making eye contact, holding it together.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Talking about the personal moments that she shared with her family.
My goodness. We're hitting the pause button. You're not going to miss any of it, but we do have to take a short break. When we return, we're going to head back to that Florida courtroom, the victim's daughter on the stand with her victim impact statement. We'll be right back.
On closing arguments, we take you to the scene where a Georgia teenager allegedly shot her mother and stepfather. Plus, you'll hear from the suspect's grandfather as he weighs in on the investigation.
Closing arguments tonight at 8/7 Central, only on Court TV.
Convicted killer Brian Kohberger will learn his fate for murdering 4 Idaho college students and come face to face with the families of his victims.
The sentencing of Brian Kohberger, Wednesday morning, only on Court TV.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. Let's take you back to Florida now for the in-law massacre sentencing that's been underway for Shelby Nealy.
Nealy pleaded guilty to killing his in-laws and their 3 dogs after they became suspicious that he had killed his wife, Jamie. Now a jury must decide if they recommend the death sentence or life behind bars.
All right, we hit the pause button earlier. Let's get you back into court now for the rest of the victim's daughter impact statement.
And I'll never forget the times he took us to a friend's property for demolition derbies. What better way to teach them to drive than for them to learn how to crash, he'd say. When each of my kids, our kids got their temporary driver's license, I employed that same train of thought as we headed to the cemetery to practice. What better way to teach them to drive? By practicing where they can't hurt anyone if they crash. Like many dads, he loved sports, and he was a die-hard fan of every Cleveland team. As a former football star, he picked up other sports pretty easily and was quite good at bowling and golfing and dancing, especially if there was a good polka playing. Yes, it's a Midwest thing. He even trusted me to be his safety partner during scuba diving on Lake Erie. He'd say, "Watch for the bubbles." I did that dutifully. These moments shaped me, and now they're sealed in memory because we'll never create new ones. Or he with my kids. Like that fishing trip he was planning with my husband and the really old guys and the young old guys. Even though they had to love from a distance because we lived in different states, Dad and Laura, known as Papa and Nana, were wonderful grandparents. Always loving and attentive whenever their grandkids visited. Their pride in his grandchildren's accomplishments were evident in every visit or conversation. They were always just really interested, always asking questions and celebrating accomplishments. I had never seen my dad so full of joy as when he was on the sidelines watching our oldest daughter play volleyball at nationals. He wouldn't budge from his seat. We brought him food so he wouldn't miss a single point. He was thrilled about our youngest, who was recruited to play in the Big Ten. He bragged about it constantly, but he never got to see her play. Just a minute. Nick was so young, so full of life. He was friendly, compassionate, and deeply loved. Nicholas was very protective of his little sister, and they enjoyed playing together with their cousins or pets. The family treasured their travels across the country, visiting Grandma and Papa in Arizona and taking trips to one of their many timeshares, including the kids' favorite destination, Hawaii. When Laura stayed in Ohio to care for her sick mother, it was hard on them. Our dad waited for her, waited for the time when they can spend their golden years together. But this is where their love story ended. This storm that has stretched over 6.5 years to get to this day, today, and the grief that we bear isn't emotional, just emotional. At times it feels really physical. It seeps into our bones. It's aged us, it's broken us in many ways, and it's stolen so much from us. Before I continue, I would like to share something very personal. A short voice message from our dad, recorded on my birthday, May 3rd, 2017. I can't say the words. He always left me messages on my birthday and holidays. Hearing his voice means everything to me. It's a precious reminder of the love that we shared and of the life that was taken from us. With the court's permission.
Stay. Hi, sweetie. Dad, I want to say happy birthday. I'm saying happy birthday to you. I don't want you to fall that from flat for himself. I hope you have a good day, sweetie. Bye.
That's all I have left. That's it. His voice in digital echoes. I cling to those recordings and listen to them often, especially on my birthday, because I'll never hear another. I'll never again pick up the phone and hear, happy birthday, sweetie, or end a call with, I love you. Those calls, once so simple and often even taken for granted, are now sacred. It's a stark reminder of what we lost and why this matters so deeply to me and to our family. But beyond the voicemails, I miss the little moments that are gone forever. I'll never hear Dad's laugh fill the room, the kind of laugh that could brighten even the darkest day. I'll never again feel the comfort of his advice or the safety of his presence. I'll never again hear Laura tease my dad, calling him her big beluga, and just him loving the attention and the affection that always made me smile. Those sounds and those moments were woven into the fabric of my life, and their absence leaves a silence that echoes in my heart every day. Every day. I find solace in swimming laps at the local health club, to think, to pray, to cry, and to try to make sense of it all. I've shed countless tears in the water, alone with my thoughts and with my grief. I've sought counsel, really only to realize that I'm fully self-aware. I must continue to walk this painful path if I'm ever truly able to heal. It may take a lifetime, but through it all, Dad and Laura's love and Nick's friendliness live on in our family, the family that they left behind. And in the end, though, there's no peace for our family, and nothing can bring them back. You know, play the video, please. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.